At West Virginia University's Statler College of Engineering and Mineral Resources, the next generation of petroleum and natural gas engineers are hard at work.
Okay, we have a very good program here, petroleum and natural gas engineering.
Ilkin Bilgasser has taught at this program at WVU for almost 30 years.
It's one of the accredited programs throughout the U.S. That means we give at least minimum basics and we go beyond it. And we try to educate the students for the future.
Generally, the students we spoke with are optimistic about their future prospects in the industry.
There is not a better place to study it.
Master's student Josh Dietz says having two of the most gas-rich regions, the Marcellus and Utica shale formations, in their backyard is a great asset for WVU students.
So we're better to learn it than actually right here, having companies that want to sponsor this technology and actually figuring out how and what we can do in the industry to better it. This region is just on top of the Marcellus. Like, the university has property in the Marcellus, so that's big for us.
The Marcellus has been big for the state of West Virginia's coffers, too.
We saw explosive growth for 4 years in a row. When the gas boom really started in West Virginia, we saw output growth of more than 40% per year for 4 years in a row. Tremendous, tremendous growth.
John Deskins directs WVU's Bureau of Business and Economic Research. He says after a little dip in production in 2019, the gas industry rebounded.
Over the past year, growth has been more than 20%, and we expect healthy growth for some time. So output growth is strong and is expected to continue to be strong.
According to the state tax department, in 2019, the state received $146 million in severance taxes from natural gas. Officials estimate in 2020, collections will be $98 million. But Deskins says other parts of the industry, namely the construction of natural gas pipelines, have slowed. That is one reason the state has so far missed fiscal 2020 budget projections.
The fact that the pipeline jobs are, in some sense, already drying up in some parts of West Virginia, that's part of the issue.
Deskins also says while natural gas jobs are well paying, the industry doesn't create as many as you might think, and job growth is isolated to about 8 counties, largely in the northern part of the state.
We're not talking about vast numbers. We're talking about a few thousand. We're not talking about, tens of thousands of jobs.
Still, shale gas production has increased rapidly in the Appalachian Basin since 2012. The gas produced here is rich in natural gas liquids like ethane, which is a feedstock for plastics and chemicals. Luring those chemical manufacturers and other downstream industries to West Virginia has been a major priority of state officials, including Governor Jim Justice. In August, Justice signed an executive order creating a task force aimed at expansion of the petrochemical industry. Here he is speaking at the West Virginia Chamber of Commerce Business Summit.
When this wave hits, absolutely, West Virginia will really go.
Supporters of turning West Virginia into the next petrochemical hub say the industry could bring thousands of jobs and billions in tax revenue. But environmental groups fear the development will turn Appalachia into the next Cancer Alley. And it would create more plastic at a time when the Earth's oceans are choked with it, as well as set the world back in the fight against climate change. Some students in WVU's Petroleum and Natural Gas Engineering program are eager to try and balance the growing environmental concerns over fossil fuels like natural gas with the reality that it currently generates more than 1/3 of all electricity in the U.S. Senior Morgan Measures says while the technology behind renewable energies like wind and solar has advanced, others like battery storage are still relatively new.
I don't think it's one or the other, and I think that's again, the balance of that is very important, that we are able to balance it. It's just knowing where things are going to be better implemented and where, something that works very, very well for renewable might not work for natural gas and vice versa.
Junior Anurag Shrestha says becoming an engineer in this field may give him an opportunity to reduce emissions in the natural gas industry.
As an engineer, I feel like I should help optimize our oil industry, our energy sustenance capabilities. So I do definitely want to start working.
As for 2020, a global glut of natural gas is expected to slow production around the world, including here in West Virginia. In December, oil and gas giant Chevron announced plans to write down $10 to $11 billion in assets, mostly shale gas holdings in Appalachia. For the Legislature Today, I'm Brittany Patterson.